Hi, everyone. My name is Marina. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the Federal University of Santa Catarina, Brazil. And I'm talking today a little about my postdoctoral research. We are thinking about better ways to communicate with blind or partially sighted people. Because today, of course, we get lots of information all the time, everywhere, get information. But if we get a little critical about what kind of information is this. We get, of course, lots of text, videos, pictures, infographics, and all sort of nice animations we have today. But they all require vision to be fully consumed, right? So, of course, today we have great accessibility tools. Uh, that's true, but we do not conceive information from the very early stage, from the planning stage. We rarely do conceive it to be consumed by blind or partially sighted people. So we are trying to change that, and we want to see what the world has been doing on this area. So the very first stage of my postdoctoral research was to conduct a systematic review on these topics. We also believe that um, 3D printing combined with artificial intelligence will be key to change that, since these two advances can really provide us quick and effective ways to better explore touching um, on maps or any sort of touching information that we can print and illustrate a piece of news. Um, and that can, of course, be explored by communication and journalism to think about more complete pieces for people that cannot use vision to consume information. So we want to see how the world has been working on these three main terms: accessibility, 3D printing, and AI all together. Of course, we cannot forget about the global relevance of blindness and low vision. If you go worldwide, for example, we have 43 million blind people and 295 million with moderate or severe vision loss. And moving to the Latin American and Caribbean, we have 3.8 million blind and 26.6 million people with moderate or severe impairment. So we're talking about a large audience, right? So our systematic review started with this initial search combining the three terms: 3D printing, AI, and accessibility. And we had zero results on the two databases we used, Scopus and Web of Science. So we had that very early indication of a gap, right? Um, we are, for now, restricting our search to the Ibero-Latin American area. So that that no result initial search motivated us to fragment it. So let's do a pairwise approach, and we did searches using the two of the three items combined each time. So the goal here was to produce a map of the research in the Ibero-Latin American area. Databases used were Scopus and Web of Science. The time window was the last 20 years, focused on the area I already told you. And we also went for a few more details of the work, like what kind of document it is, what country, what affiliation. The search strategy was the following. We had three searches on each database. Search number one combined accessibility and 3D printing. Search number two combined 3D printing and artificial intelligence. And the last and third is search combined accessibility and AI. Um, our goal was to capture conceptual spaces that were adjacent since the very first search had no results. And again, don't forget we are restricted to ibero-latin American countries for now. So what we had as results? Well, Scopus had a very limited record found. We had 7 on number 1, 10 for search number 2, and 10 for search number 3. So total was 27 records for all the 3 searches combined. And also the records were concentrated in the last 2 years. Countries most found were Spain, Brazil, Mexico, Peru, and Portugal. And we saw a very concentrated document types on conference papers for both searchers number 1 and 3. We had more articles in search number 2. Themes most found were tactile interfaces, accessibility and 3D printing in education, culture, and health. Also, lots of AI for design automation. Now, the Web of Science search was had a much larger variability in volume and also a much larger volume in general, since search number 1 had 28 records, but is already larger than all 3 Scopus searches combined. Then the search number 2, that combines 3D printing and AI, had 251 records. And then search number 3 had 29. So, of course, the search number 2 dominates because of its alignment with the indexing of the themes, both 3D printing and AI, that are very linked to engineering and technological field, which is very concentrated on the Web of Science. Countries most found were Spain and Brazil. And here on the Web of Science, we had a very technological ecosystem in general. We had lots of 3D printing or additive manufacturing. We used both terms. We had material sciences, fabrication workflows, and modeling and simulation. So when we combine the 6 searches in the 2 databases, we had 308 records. We can observe a rapid growth from the last 5 years. We have 5 main countries: Spain, Brazil, Portugal, Mexico, and Peru. And then we believe that using the 2 databases have provided us a very complete background because they complement each other. Like Scopus is much more user-centered, has lots of accessibility papers, some work on education and interfaces. And when we move to the Web of Science, we have a much stronger focus on engineering and technological themes as fabrications, materials, and automation. Not forgetting that when we try to search all 3 terms combined at once, we have no results. So for our final considerations, we believe we have found a field that is very active, still fragmented. We can also see that when accessibility is one of the terms in the research, it goes much more limited than when we combine 3D printing and AI. So when we combine these 2 terms, we have a much stronger and larger body of work to examine. And since we have no end-to-end pipeline linking these three dimensions, we have researching. Uh, we see here a very strong opportunity for innovation, both methodological and conceptual. So we are moving on our postdoctoral research using the three terms, and now we're going worldwide. And let's see what we're gonna find out. If you're interested in the combination of 3D printing, AI, and accessibility as we are, we cannot wait to hear from you. Let's talk. Okay, get in touch. Thank you.